Hello and welcome to Finland for another day in or around the world in 80 countries. So Finland has a couple of strange customs, such as the wife carrying race. They do that every single year, it's a tradition. But today what we're going to be doing for our activity is we're going to be making a traditional street food dish, which essentially is sausage and potatoes. But you can find this served on most street corners in the evening once all of the restaurants, bars and things close. It's normally cooked over a griddle or a barbecue, and there are different versions of it, but I'm going to show you one of the most traditional versions. It does have gherkins in it, but if you don't like gherkins you can leave them out because not all of the dishes have gherkins in. But the main ingredients are it has to have sausage and potato in it. So we will demonstrate how to do it and then you can share yours with us later on. Okay, so before you start prepping your potatoes and your onion for this recipe, what you need to do is to put a saucepan of water on to boil, so it's boiling whilst you're preparing, okay? And then, so for this recipe I've just got some small sort of baby potatoes, and all we're going to do, we're not peeling them or anything, we're just going to chop them into sort of small chunks, so small pieces, about that size. Sorry, the light's shining on it. So yeah, so just cut some of those up. So for these recipes we don't have exact weights or measurements. It is just depending on how many people you're cooking for, how big your potatoes are, what you have. You just chop, as I say, into small pieces. Just mind your fingers when you're cutting. And as you cut them, if you need more room on your chopping board, you can put them straight into the water. But we're going to sort of parboil them for about 10 minutes. And when I say about 10 minutes, you want them soft, but you don't want them falling apart because we're also going to fry these off in a while. Sorry if the steam's covering up the screen, but I can't put the extractor fan on because it's too noisy and you won't be able to hear what I'm saying. So I'm making this for quite a few people, so I'm just going to chop a few more. And ideally you want all the pieces a similar size so that they all cook at the same time. And then once we've done the potatoes, we're going to cut the onion. So you just need to take the bottom off of it and the top. And then you need to just peel the brown layers off. You can do this with a red onion if you prefer. It's just a slightly sweeter taste rather than the brown or the white onion. Okay, so once you've peeled it, we'll get rid of the peel because that's no good. Okay, so for this onion, I'm just going to cut it in half, and I'm then just going to cut it into sort of wedge type pieces. So I'm not finely slicing it or dicing it into small pieces. It's just sort of wedge shape, like that. Okay. Now if you've got a really big onion, half an onion may be enough for you. It's up to you, it's your recipe. And this is the good thing about these recipes, they can be adapted to your own taste. And I can tell this onion's been in the cupboard a little bit too long, so I'm going to take that middle piece out. I don't want to use that. Okay, so we will be back once the potatoes are boiled. Okay, so once your potatoes are boiled, you need to carefully drain them over the sink and try to get as much water off of them as you can, because we're going to be frying them, and we all know water and oil does not mix. So just make sure that they're completely drained. And it doesn't matter if you shake them up, because it will just rough them up a little bit and you'll just get more crisp on them. Okay, and then I've just put them back into the pan. I'll just leave it to the side. Okay, so for this, the next steps on here, what I've done, I've just put some olive oil into a frying pan, and I'm just frying off the potatoes and the onions gently. So I'm just going to add the rest of the potatoes now. So you can put some salt and black pepper in with it as well, just to give it a bit of seasoning. Salt. Not too much salt, but it'll just bring out some of the flavour in it. And a little bit more olive oil in there. So you're just doing this on a medium to high heat, but you might have to just turn it down after a little while, because you don't want it to sort of caramelise. You just want to soften everything up to start with. Then we can turn the heat up towards the end if we need to. So just keep going. And whilst that's cooking, what we're going to next do is to chop up the sausage. So the sausage that I'm using for this one is going to be a bit like a Polish sausage or a German sausage. So all it is, I think they call them link sausages in some countries, but it's already a cooked sausage, so it is just a case of reheating it. So these are actually hot first ones, but you can use any of them. So all we're going to do with these, is just sort of chop it into about 1 centimetre thick coin-sized pieces. So if you chop your sausage up and then add it into your potatoes and onions once they're all chopped. So let me carry on chopping these and get them ready. It's nearly ready to be added. And then after you have chopped your sausage, we are going to use some big gherkins, and again chop those into similar sized pieces. Okay, so now that the potatoes and onions are cooked, we are going to add the sausage into the pan. And also the chopped gherkin. So as I say, these are the bigger ones out of the jar, and they're just chopped up. And so it's not really to cook this now, it's just to warm the sausage up. So just make sure you mix it all up. And again, so this is when you can adjust the seasoning, so put a bit of salt and pepper in. And then just turn it down to sort of low. And keep going with this until the sausage is warmed up and it's got a bit of browning on it. So once it's heated up and the sausage has got some brown on it and you're ready to serve it, take it off the heat and we'll pour it into the bowl. Now at this point you can add some grated cheese to the top if you want to, but this is our traditional Finnish dish. So don't forget to share your creations with us because we'd love to see how you make yours and what you come up with. See you next time. Bye.